humans and future AI overlords. Not sure if you recognize any of these logos here, but most of them should be familiar. We are going to talk about AI inside of Microsoft Edge. It has Bing Chat, which you're likely familiar with. It's got features like Compose, Designer, Bing Image Creator, and Editor. So we're going to cover these AI-powered Microsoft Edge features today because I basically overlooked them and I'm totally embarrassed, but there's some cool stuff inside of Edge. So Microsoft. Edge is brought to us by the wonderful people at Microsoft. Founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen in April 4th, 1975. We know them from their Windows operating system, super powerful everywhere. We know them from Microsoft Office. I use Office at work. I use Office at home. I use Office in a lot of ways. I use a lot of productivity tools, but Microsoft Office I do really like a lot. And now Microsoft Office has been rebranded to Microsoft 365. Microsoft Azure, it's the cloud computing platform, so your business may use it in a lot of different capacities. And you use it behind the scenes with a lot of the tools you use from Microsoft. A lot of these web applications are powered behind the scenes using Microsoft Azure. And if you're a gamer, Xbox, man, I have played with Xbox. Gosh, I can't remember. I remember getting my very first Xbox and it was just blew my mind. The graphics, and of course they just get better and better. While I still have an Xbox and a PlayStation, I haven't booted them up in so long. They probably have so much dust on them right now because I've been kind of doing more VR gaming, to be honest. But anyway, a little background on Microsoft. We've been using their operating systems, their productivity software, the browsers in the past were huge. Internet Explorer was massive before Google kind of came along. But yeah, Microsoft, huge. So Microsoft Edge. So Microsoft Edge is the cross-platform web browser. So like I'm using it today on a Mac. So it's available, of course, for Windows and Mac. It's also available for Android, iOS, and Linux, which is really kind of cool. And you can also use it on mobile. So you've got it on your Android and your Apple, iOS and iPadOS. And I've used it in a lot of different places. And I really like it. They shifted Edge, the new Edge, to Google's Chromium open source. Now, of course, they've added all kinds of Microsoft capabilities to it, and definitely made it a Microsoft tool. But it's pretty awesome. So yeah, its successor, Internet Explorer, which was massive. It's designed to be more secure, faster, and more efficient than its predecessors. And I definitely feel it definitely is better than Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer was amazing as a browser. Back in the days of the early browsers, it was really impressive and I really enjoyed it. But of course, when Chrome came out, that kind of changed everything. So anyway, but yeah, Microsoft is available as a free download, through whatever platform you're using. So Bing Chat. So now we're going to get into the AI tools. So Microsoft Bing Chat is an AI-powered chatbot that's integrated into the Edge browser. So I'm so used to going to bing.com and then clicking on Bing Chat, but you can just click the Bing Chat icon in the browser and start using Bing Chat without going to the site, which is really pretty cool because you can do all your Q&As, you can do your generative stuff. So Bing Chat is powered by the same technology as Microsoft 365 Copilot. Microsoft 365 Copilot is in development and coming soon. More on that to come, but so it uses large language models. So just like ChatGPT and Google Bard, this Bing Chat, I've talked about Bing Chat. Bing Chat, when I think of the three big AI chatbots in the modern era, I think of ChatGPT because it was the OG back in end of November and just blew everyone away. Then of course Google came out with Google Bard, and it maybe started off a little, with some issues, but recovered and has evolved like dramatically. It's my go-to today for AI chatbots. And then of course there's Bing Chat, and I have definitely had a history with Bing Chat. I try to use it, and it frustrates me. Its personality, its short responses, it's they've locked down the interactions with it. Sometimes you can only have a certain number of interactions which they've upped and upped. But I don't know. Bing Chat as an AI, for me, we have not quite gelled yet. We don't have the relationship we should have. But I am going to try more Bing Chat enabled stuff. But anyway, so with Bing Chat, it's integrated in the Edge browser. You've got the Bing logo in the upper right-hand corner, and all you have to do is click that, and you can go right into Bing Chat. So no need to surf to bing.com and select Bing Chat. Anyway, so of course, we're used to using these AI chatbots to ask questions, to get answers, to generate creative contents. Poems, stories, scripts. You can use it for language translation. I've done a little bit of that. I typically use more mobile apps to do language translation. Summarizing text, and I think some of the features to summarize sites is pretty powerful. When you're on a site and inside of Microsoft Edge, and you click the AI to launch Bing, and then you use it to summarize the content in your browser, is pretty amazing. And so, of course, you can dive into your Q&As in a more, free-form way, depending on what you're trying to accomplish, and use the different, if you want it to be, a little bit more creative, if you want it to be more factual, you have those options inside of chat, just like you normally would when you go to the website. And then, of course, you can generate content. And that's, poems, code, scripts, lots of things. And it's got different, it's unique. It's context aware, so it's not going to always generate the exact same thing every time. So that's why sometimes when these AIs create these like amazing poems, or if a lot of times I'll save them or copy them, because sometimes those pieces are really unique in the moment, in a particular conversation, a particular context, and can be incredibly moving. I mean, some of these things you're creating are brand new to the world, which is pretty exciting. But anyway, so what powers Microsoft Bing Chat? So Microsoft has this thing called the Prometheus model. So it's based on OpenAI's GPT-4. And this is the part that annoyed me with Bing Chat, was I always, like when I talk to AI chatbots, I always want to know, like, hey, how do you work? What runs behind the scenes? Just high level. I'm not asking for like trade secrets or anything, but Bing Chat gets annoyed with me, and I get annoyed with it when I try to ask it about, what does it work? So of course I used Bard to look up some of the stuff, because Bing will not tell you things like that. And I know it's been, trained, and I know it's been tuned to do different things, but I really wish I wasn't so rude sometimes. Anyway, that's just me, but anyway, but yeah, so Prometheus model is an LLM based on OpenAI's ChatGPT-4 or GPT-4 model. The GPT-4 model, allows larger inputs and outputs. These tokens around text. Think of a token as text input. And there's only so much. And basically GPT-4 was double the amount of tokens. So you could put twice as much text in or out of a prompt. And it was also, there's a lot more connections and intelligence inside GPT-4. So it could give you much better responses. And I've played around with, using like, in OpenAI's ChatGPT, the 3.5 and the 4, and kind of comparing those, because OpenAI charged $20 a month to use their GPT-4. And to be honest with you, it doesn't feel like it's worth it unless you're like a hardcore power user, or you've got some specific context. You really want to use the plugins and things like that. So anyway, but you can get GPT-4 level interactions inside of Bing Chat, which I feel like, and you're not having to pay $20 a month. So to me, this is a win. So it says the Microsoft Prometheus model is trained on a massive data set of text and code, which allows us to understand and generate text in a more comprehensive and informative way than previous language models. It's also able to access and process information from the real world through Microsoft Bing, which makes it more reliable and up to date. And that is huge because and I rant about this a lot, OpenAI's ChatGPT, while it is amazing and I love it and I still use it, it has a training cutoff date of September 2021, and I'm like, oh my god, like that's just like, how are you, like why, like Google doesn't have that. Bing uses the Bing search, and I think because they don't have a search engine, they don't have a way to fall back on it. But no matter what model you're using, the training cutoff is still September 21. So what I love about the Bing solution and the Google solution is those training cutoffs aren't applicable to their AI chatbots, which is great. So the Microsoft Prometheus model is a significant advancement in the field of artificial intelligence, has a potential to revolutionize the way we interact with computers. It's still under development, like most of this AI, capabilities is under development. I mean, AI has been around, since the 50s, hidden behind the scenes in lots of things. Our Amazon recommendations, our Netflix recommendations, our type ahead, all that kind of stuff. So we've been using AI behind the scenes, as magic behind the scenes for decades. But now we're getting these AI capabilities kind of moved out front and center, which is really fantastic. But anyway, so this is the Edge browser, and I clicked the B in the upper right corner, the Bing logo inside the speaker logo. So that's the Bing chat, and that will launch the conversation tab, and that's where you've got, so just like when you go to Bing and then you go to Bing chat in the browser, you can launch it right inside of Edge. You don't need to navigate to it, but of course that requires you have Edge, and whatever your preferences are around browsers and platforms and stuff like that. It's one of those things I recommend, that you give it a shot. You try it out. It may not work for you, or it may not work for you today, but it could work for you in 3-6 year, down the road. But anyway, so in here you can see you've got the very similar conversation styles where you can be more creative, you can be more, balanced, or you can be more precise. So you've got that in there. And then one of the things I love is you can see it has an auto-generated prompt of generate page summary. So that's one of the things I really like about the browsing inside of Edge and using the Bing chat, the integrated Bing chat capabilities, is that those page summaries are very helpful to surface up content and stuff like that. So anyway, I think that's great. So there is another capability called Compose. So it's an AI-powered writing assistant that's inside the Edge browser. It's doing a lot of things like grammar corrections, improving your style, helping you find relevant information. So it's doing some of the things you're used to doing, like in Word and stuff like that, Microsoft Word. So, but basically, you open up Bing, and there is an option to select Compose, and basically you just start writing your content, and it will help you as you do it. It can help you with tone. It can help you with format if you're posting in different types of content. But once again, this is still under development, and we'll see where it goes. But so basic features, and it's kind of basic features we're used to getting in our email clients, in our writing clients, today. Grammar, style improvements, being able to helpfully, searching and integrating relevant information, whether it's images, links. And then, being able to format it with different content types, and then helping with tone. And I do really like that. Like, I'm a big fan of the Help Me Write feature in Gmail. I'm still blown away at how powerful that is. When I get an email in and I can just click Help Me Write, and it summarizes the relevant content, and then I just edit the piece I needed. So basically it turns you into a reviewer of the content, which is really helpful. But anyway, those are the features. So basically, When you open the Bing chat inside of Edge, you see on the top there's chat, and then right next to it is compose. And so that's where you can start writing, and you've got the tone, professional, casual, enthusiastic, informational, funny. I really dig that you can kind of change your tone in it as well. The formatting options, hey, do you want this to be a short, medium, long, kind of drafted creating, and then it gives you a preview. So I really like compose, and this is something I totally overlooked, and I just feel kind of like, James, come on, get with it. But anyway, compose inside of the Bing chat, one of the AI tools inside of the Microsoft Edge browser. So Designer, now I have played with Designer, but I didn't realize they had it integrated into Edge. So it's a graphic design tool. I'm not a creative, and from my YouTube videos, I don't have that much cool stuff. I don't have like the Photoshop and all the cool tools to build like a really super awesome YouTube video. Maybe in the future I'll learn, maybe in the future I'll evolve. Maybe AI will help me do it. I'm using some tools to help me with that. When I started my YouTube channel, I didn't do thumbnails. I wasn't doing like really good descriptions. Like AI's helped me with that kind of stuff. But anyway, this is an AI-powered graphic design tool that's built into the Edge browser, and it uses DALL-E from OpenAI. So what's great about it is that it's using the OpenAI DALL-E language model, and then it can create, kind of text to image kind of activities. But it's more specific to the flow in Designer, and that's the piece that I didn't quite like, because I'm not a designer, and I don't really kind of do that kind of level of creativity. But basically, you can open the Designer tool, and then you can start. So as a creative person, many of you will probably understand this fundamentally better than I do. But it can help you with creating content for your media posts, your invitations, other graphics. You could design logos and branding. Illustrations and infographics. And to be honest with you, I would love, and I've played with it a little bit, and I love infographics, and I think I need to go back and try that. But I have played around, I have experimented a little bit, and but it was early on. So I think I need to, once again, this is another kind of tool that I tried a little bit early on, didn't really gel with it that much, and I probably need to play with it a little bit more. But anyway, so when you're on the site, you can click the try now, and it will show the Designer preview inside the video. But there is actually a designer.microsoft.com. So that's where I was going to play with Designer and create content and stuff there. So, it's the whole, put in your text, generate your image, modify existing images, and then it will provide example output, and for some people, this is going to be a magical experience. I mean, totally magical. So I definitely think folks should give this a shot. So Bing Image Creator. So this is different than Designer. Bing Image Creator, AI powered tool, lets you create images from text descriptions. It's still in preview, and it's available to anyone with a Microsoft account. And I've been using, once I realized I needed thumbnails, I started using Bing Image Creator. A lot of my early YouTube thumbnails are created through Bing Image Creator. And basically I would just go to Bing Chat, and I would create them in the Bing Chat conversation to say, draw, an image of X, Y, and Z in the context of, 1, 2, 3 kind of stuff. So you're creating your prompt, you're doing it, just like you normally would, but it's going to create, and it'll create different types of images. It definitely was something that felt a little limiting. Image creation tools, when you're trying to create, like faces, or have the right number of fingers on hands, or not have extra arms. Like sometimes the AIs create some just crazy stuff. So just know, so I kind of say, with these AI tools, go in with a lower set of expectations because it's, you know, a lot of time it's not a mid journey. You know, it's not a Leonardo. It's, yeah, it's, you know, it's still, you know, has some, you know, has some limitations. But DALL-E was one of the original text to image tools. I remember playing with it like over a year ago on the OpenAI website, you know, but it didn't gel with me because I'm not like a creative person, you know, so that wasn't something that really, you know, really kind of like sparked joy in my life. But anyway, the bing.com/create will take you to the image creator. You can get to it through the chat, or you can get to it directly. This is, you know, I was having the chat interaction, and then it would take me into image creator. And then, you know, and you can see here, there's some really amazing examples here. Now, I do have to say, my images are cool that I created here, but they're not on this level. I mean, they're showcasing some stellar images here. But I do recommend, and I have a YouTube video on Bing Image Creator. And this is one of those things where Bing Image Creator uses, see, it's powered by DALL-E from OpenAI. And DALL-E has you know, limitations on, you know, how much you can use it and stuff like that. Now, Microsoft has, you know, limitations now. They've got, you get 100 daily tokens you can use. Once you've used those up, depending on the complexity of your image, you know, the time to create image, the speed will be dramatically slowed. So they're definitely, you know, having an impact. So my recommendation is, you know, you need to crawl before you walk, before you run with this stuff. You know, play with some simple prompts. You know, get a feel for it. Once you find that magic prompt that's getting you what you kind of want, that, you know, that's the thing you need. I feel like with these AI tools, it's like learning that prompt, learning that conversation. You know, you got to start at a basic level. But my thought is just explore, just play with it. You know, just try it out. And you know, there are days when, you know, I'd spend, you know, 10, 15 minutes a day just going into a text to image tool just to throw ideas at it, just to see what's happening. You know, use up my daily tokens with just some ideas, and then, you know, get a feel for different types of prompts. So that's my recommendation with that. But anyway, now another tool that I wasn't aware of is Editor. Now, Editor is a capability inside of like Microsoft Word, and we're all aware of the you know, smart assistant capabilities inside of a lot of our email and document creation tools and stuff like that. But this is built into the Edge browser, and it can help with grammar and style and you know, stuff like that. So you know, there's you get some of the basics built in. You can get more advanced capabilities in Microsoft 365 because Editor is inside of that tool as well. So it says, to use Editor, simply you need to open a web page in Microsoft Edge to start writing. Editor will automatically detect the language you're writing in and start suggesting corrections, which is pretty amazing. So it's the typical grammar, style, relevant information, content types, tone, and format. So you know, that is, to me, the power of these incredible tools. So I'm going to switch over to this. Here is your AI powered browser. So this is where Microsoft has kind of pulled together bingchat and Compose and Designer and Bing Image Creator and Editor, and, you know, included this all inside of Microsoft Edge. And I just wanted people, because I was really not paying attention, you know, to what was happening inside of Edge, and I use Edge nearly every day. And so it was one of those things that really kind of surprised me that I wasn't, you know, kind of connected into all these AI capabilities built in here. You know, so you just click, you know, the Bing chat tool here, and you go immediately into chat, and then you can switch to Compose, you know, and go into your Compose. You can switch over to Insights, and you can see here it's looking at the web page you've got up and give you relevant content for that. I mean, it's truly amazing. So my recommendation is, you know, Edge has changed dramatically, and Microsoft is infusing AI into so many of its products, so many of its tools. It's like AI everywhere. So my recommendation is to get Microsoft Edge and play with it. I do it on my iPhone, I do it on my iPad, I do it here on the Mac, I do it on a Windows system, so I've used it, in nearly every platform that I play with and use daily. I hope you have learned a little bit of something about the AI capabilities built into the Microsoft Edge browser. There's so much going on. There's so much change happening. I know it's hard to keep up with it, but I'm here to help, and feel free to reach out. Anyway, have a great day, and thank you for joining me.